So the thing we're going to go over next is the basics, guys. We are going to start with the beginner's guide to Tryndamere. So, number one, we're going to talk about Tryndamere's passive, Tryndamere's Q, and when to use his Q. Tryndamere's W, how to effectively use it in multiple situations, and when you should be looking to use it, when to look at it, how you can use that for your all-ins. We're going to be talking about Tryndamere's spin and how you effectively use it even when you get high CDR, and Tryndamere's ult and how to make sure you pretty much never miss it. Although, there's always room for improvement. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and wait for this to get done patching. It's a hotfix Tryndamere nerf? No, not the hotfix nerf, man. Alright, perfect. Okay, so you invite. By the way, these are my credentials. I am currently a challenger Tryndamere player on the North American server, and I've been master / challenger for the last 3 seasons.
My right arm is a lot stronger than my left arm.
Hey, Venturer, thank you for the gifted sub to Blazeboard, dude. I appreciate it. Alright, so go ahead and you can select whatever champion you want. I'm going to select Tryndamere. I'm going to be showing the abilities and everything.
Okay.
Alright, guys. By the way, let me show you the list of skins. Don't walk in yet, Steve-O. So this is the classic skin. Highland Tryndamere. I think this is a skin that I like every now and then because the sword feels thin, which is kind of cool. King Tryndamere, I think this has the best splash art. Viking Tryndamere, it's a Lexi skin, just like Highland Tryndamere. I personally don't use this one very much. It's like meh. Demon Blade Tryndamere, a lot of people like it. I personally feel the skin is outdated. Needs some updates to keep up with the other 1800 RP skins. Sultan, it's my skin that I use the most often. It has the best animations in game. Warren Kingdom skin, I think it's basically just basically a green classic Tryndamere. Like everything feels and looks the exact same as classic Tryndamere, except it's a little bit green. Nightmare Trends, my most hated skin. I just hate how it looks and hate how it feels overall in game. Use this skin if you want to lose more games than you win. Beast Hunter Tryndamere is my girlfriend's favorite skin, so I will use it every now and then. Also pretty cool. And then Chemtech. The newest skin has awesome animations. Just not my favorite. So, we're going into game, and I'm going to show you guys Tryndamere's basic abilities and how to use them effectively. I'm going to show you how they work, what their scalings are. And for that, let's go to the Tryndamere wiki, as Tryndamere currently stands. So if you guys want to learn more about the champion and the stats overall, we're going to be going over the wiki here. Alright, here we go. Here is the wiki for Tryndamere. If you want to take a look at the stats, pretty good. Tryndamere has one of the highest set of base stats in the game. It was also a very cheap character. As a melee champion, is one of the first champions released in the game. And look at his health. He has very high base health, a very high base health regen. He is a melee champion with 125 range. Attack speed growth really strong. Attack damage really good as well. armor. 85.7 armor at level 18. Are you serious? Like, that's crazy. 53.4 magic resist. Until recently, Tryndamere is actually one of the few champions that had magic resist scaling on his runes. And 345 base move speed. I think they're maybe only Pantheon and maybe one other character that has higher base movement speed. So, just taking a look at that. Let's go over his abilities. Battle Fury. This is Tryndamere's passive. This is what allows Tryndamere to crit even level 1. So, Tryndamere gains 5 Fury each time he lands a basic attack. 10 Fury on critical strikes. And each time he kills an enemy, he also gains 10 Fury. So, if you critical strike a minion, and that crit also kills a minion, you get 20 Fury. It adds on top of each other. And if you're out of combat, so not dealing or receiving damage for 8 seconds, Tryndamere loses 5 Fury per second. So you gotta make sure that you keep on fighting. Battle Fury. Tryndamere gains 0 to 35% critical chance based on his Fury. And this also ties into his other abilities, which I'll explain in a second. Bloodlust. This is what gives Tryndamere so much damage in the early game. But we do not level this ability first in 99% of matchups. You'll be leveling up your spin, but more on that. Tryndamere's Q, Bloodlust. It gives him permanent bonus attack damage. I believe it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 AD, and it's calculated as bonus AD, which I'll explain why that's important later. And he gains additional bonus attack damage, as he gets lower. So, I believe that bonus is 0.15, 0.20, 0.25, 0.30, 0.35. So, at max rank, you can get up to 35 AD when you hit to 1 HP, which Tryndamere does really often because of his ultimate. Now let's go on to Tryndamere's W. This is physically what it does, but I'm going to show you some cool tips and tricks with this later. Tryndamere's W, it reduces the attack damage of all nearby enemies for 4 seconds. So anything in its area of effect is going to affect everybody. The AD reduction is as follows. 20 AD reduction, 35 AD reduction, 50, 65, 80. 80 attack damage reduction, and if the targets in the AoE are turning their backs to Tryndamere, then it'll also slow them by 30, 37.5, 45, 52.5, 60%. So this is extremely important when, considering that you need to stick on to targets as often as possible on Tryndamere in order to kill them. And Tryndamere is a melee champion who is prone to being kited. So, think about this. 80 attack damage reduction and a 60% slow for 4 seconds. It gives insane dueling potential later in the game. Your Spinning Slash. Tryndamere's, I think, most iconic ability. Being able to spin all of this mobility. I think it's more iconic than even his ultimate. Tryndamere basically hurls himself across the rift with his right arm, of course. By basically holding onto his sword and thrusting around as fast as possible to be able to spin from one location to another. I'm going to show you some tips with the Spinning Slash, certain spots that you can use your Spinning Slash in, and go over walls, etc. But essentially, Tryndamere does physical damage to every target through its, on that line. It starts at 80, 110, 140, 170, and 200. And it has a bonus AD scaling. So remember the bonus AD from the Q? Yeah, that also applies to your spin. So 100%, 130% bonus AD ratio. Which means the more bonus AD you get, say with all of your items, plus your Q, and however low you get from your Q, since it gives bonus AD, more damage on your spin as well. And then, of course, the cooldown reduction. If you critical strike a minion or monster, or even wards, this will reduce Spinning Slash's cooldown by 1 second. But if you critical strike a enemy champion, then your Spinning Slash cooldown will go down by 2 seconds. This is really important. I'll get to this later. Alright, Tryndamere's ult. This is what allows Tryndamere to do some crazy things. Tryndamere instantly gains Fury and becomes immune to death for 5 seconds. Yes, Tryndamere just cannot die as soon as you press this button. And this is important. You can activate ult at any time. The only time that you're unable to press your ultimate ability is if you are in a stasis effect. So this is Zanya's and Bard Ultimate, or Stopwatch. That's a new item. So those are the only things that can stop you from clicking your ultimate. So you can press R even if you are stunned, even if you're knocked up, even if you're suppressed, like Warwick ult or Malzahar ult or Skarner ult. You can press R at any time. The only thing that prevents you from pressing ultimate is when you are in stasis. So Zanya's, Stopwatch, Bard Ultimate. So, pretty cool. So, let's go to a demonstration of the game. Like, while we're in game. Alright, so... Actually, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do, Steve-O. Alright, I'm gonna show everyone the... And, just take a look at my stream, take a look. I'm going to show everyone how this works on training mode. So go ahead and leave that game.
Okay.
Alright, so let's take this to the training tool. Alright, I'm going to deafen you for a second, Steve. I'm just going to show everyone how this works.
This'll be a slaughter.
So let's use Sultan Tryndamere, since that's what most Tryndamere mains take at first. And yes, you cannot, you can ult even if you're silenced. Yes, you can ult on Garen's silence. That is correct. Alright. Let's go into a demonstration of the abilities. So I'm going to give myself some level up. That way I can show all the abilities. Alright. So, let's go ahead and show you guys the Spinning Slash. So, I'm going to go to the top river. I'm going to summon a target dummy. Okay, let's turn this. Turn invisible, turn off Tower Fire. We're going to spawn an enemy dummy. And we're just going to show you how Spinning Slash works. So, this is Tryndamere's one damaging ability. But it goes on a very low cooldown as you level up. I'll show you guys exactly how low it goes. So for now, I'm going to click Spinning Slash. I'm going to spin on the target dummy. Pretty simple, right? You spin on the you spin on your target and it deals damage. Also, let me summon multiple target dummies. I think you can spawn 3. So every one of these target dummies I spin through does damage to all 3. So anything within that AoE. But what I'm going to show you, that's really important, this is a mechanic. So right here, you have a target that's outside of your spin range, so you can only spin to here. What can we do to close the gap? Let me go and refresh my cooldowns. We can spin, flash. You see how it did the damage to the target dummy? The spin flash is Tryndamere's one unique combo that it's pretty easy to learn. All you have to do is click your spin, then flash on your target. So your spin will deal damage through targets leading up to right before you flash. Then when you flash, it extends the range just by a little bit to allow you to get onto your opponent. So spin, flash. Also, to add on to the combo, you notice what I did there? While you're spinning, before you flash, right-click the target dummy, or, right-click your target that you're flashing on. If you right-click your target before you click flash during the middle of your spin, and then you flash, your auto attack is guaranteed. They cannot flash your auto attack, they cannot do anything about it. The auto attack will go through 100% if you spin flash. So watch this. Spin, flash. Oh, whoops. Alright. Sorry. Spin, flash, auto attack. There you go. Can you double the spin damage? No. I'll show you here. So spin damage will not go double. Yeah. Let me go and show you guys here. Oh yeah, by the way, if you mess up the flash, then no, it will not deal damage. Why isn't that damage clearing? Here we go. Let's summon a new one. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys it does not deal double the damage. So even when I spun through the target and I flash back on it, it does not hit it again. Alright, so let me show you what Tryndamere's Q does. So Tryndamere's Q, right now, it's giving me a bonus 15 attack damage. Plus it's giving me 0.25 AD per 1% health missing. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on Turret Fire. Gonna take some damage. You guys notice how my attack damage is going up? Every time that my health bar goes down, it goes up to 25 attack damage that you'll get bonus based off your Q. So when you max out Bloodlust, let me go and give myself a couple levels up. This damage goes up to 25 attack damage, bonus AD that you just get all the time, and up to 0.3, up to 35 AD at 1% HP. Also, look at this. You can activate Tryndamere's Q, and it will just give him health. So it's 70 health at max level. So I press the button, and it's got a 12-second cooldown. So 70 health as soon as I click it, but the more fury that I generate, so by building up a passive, so let's go ahead and generate a target dummy. So I can build up my passive, like the fury on wards, on monsters, on minions, on champions, basically anything you can auto attack. It will give 5 fury when you auto attack it, 10 fury on crit, and another bonus 10 fury if you kill the target. So you notice how, so it's 70 health plus 2.3 health per fury consumed. So if you do the math, that's 300 HP. Boom. Yes, anything you can auto attack, even plants, can give you fury. Alright. Let me show you some tricks with Tryndamere's W. Tryndamere's W will slow a target when they turn their back. Oh yeah, I don't know how to spawn fruit. I guess we'll just get to that when the fruit spawns. But yeah, I'll show you guys. But you basically what my chat is saying is when you kill a healing plant, like hitting the plant gives you 5 fury just right then and there. And then when you pick up fruit, it also gives you, I believe, 5 fury per picked up fruit, or maybe it's 3. Not sure. And it keeps you from losing your fury over time. So, here we go. Maybe talk about a little trick with your W. So, you guys know that your mocking shot will reduce attack damage, and it will also reduce move speed if their back is turned. But, here's a pretty cool trick. Guys, look at my W right now. It's darkened out, right? It's not lighting up. Your W will light up if a champion is nearby. So, if we use our head, use our brain, here's what we can do. So, we know an enemy champion is near here because we just spawned the enemy dummy in there, right? So, we walk by, and boom. Within our range, the dummy is right here. Anything within this range, if a champion is nearby and the target dummy counts as a champion in this instance, the W will light up. And no, the W will not light up for minions. It'll only light up for champions. So, because I don't see any champions here, I can assume that there's a champion in the brush. Or, say you're against a champion like Teemo, or someone invisible. Say like Kha'Zix is using his ult passive to get out of the brush, is invisible. Your W will light up anytime a champion is nearby, so you can even scout for invisible champions. This is also important when you're scouting over walls. So, let's say I'm split pushing top. Let me turn off turret fire. Let me show you some instances where this will be important. Say I'm split pushing top. I'm pushing out the wave. The way I move my champion in lane as I'm moving throughout the map is extremely important. And you'll see this as I play my games too. But normally, when I'm walking through here, I'm not just walking in the middle of the lane, just, doing this. I will always go down here if I don't have this warded, and I will go into my W range to check to see if a champion is in the brush. And if a champion is in the brush, we'll put a enemy dummy here. If a champion is in the brush, you notice how my W lights up? I'm like, oh, shoot, an enemy's in the brush there. I need to watch out. I need to have the information. Alright, now let's talk about how Tryndamere's ult works. So we've talked about the Q, we talked about the passive with the Fury gain, talked about the W, and, tricks that you can use to scout for enemy opponents. And we got the spinning slash, spin and flash, stuff like that. Now, let's talk about the ultimate. So let's turn on turret fire. With Tryndamere's ultimate, you cannot die for 5 seconds. So, let me show you what that looks like. So I will take damage from this turret. And when I click my ultimate, I will not die for 5 seconds. Even though this turret damage should kill me. But when the ultimate ends, as soon as the ultimate ends, you can die. Let me show you some tips and tricks with the ultimate and how you can make use of the most time possible to stay alive. This is really important. Is there a button to... Oh, yeah. Revive. Okay. So, tip number 1. If you have full fury... So, let me spawn an enemy dummy real quick. Oh, yeah. We can see him in the brush. Let me go ahead and hit this up. You know what? I should buy some items. Yeah, let me buy some items. Let me get myself some gold. Tiamat, Ravenous Hydra, and of course our Essence Reaver. And of course, Rage Blade. Okay. Now let's go back. So none of these items by themselves. Rage Blade gives a little bit of AP, and Bloodlust does have a small AP ratio. But here's a trick that you guys can do. If you have full fury when you are dying to turret, so let me go and refresh my cooldown for my ultimate. So if you're about to die to the turret, like after your ult ends, so I click my ultimate, I'm about to die, I walk out of turret range, and my Q will save me if I have full fury when I leave. And it's also important that I have level 5 Bloodlust here. In scenarios where you're diving an opponent, like stuff like Triumph will also help out a ton. But if you say this scenario happens, which this has probably happened to a lot of people. Say you use your Q before you use your ultimate, so your Q is on cooldown. So, Q's on cooldown. Walking a turret. You know, I'm about to die a turret. Walk out. Oh, then I'll walk back into the turret shot. So let me explain what happened here. So I'm about to die from the turret. You know, I ran in like a crazy person. I took some turret damage. My ult's about to end. And at the last second, I walked back into the turret shot. Why is that important? It's important because Tryndamere's ult lasts 5 seconds. But it reduces all damage to not kill Tryndamere for that 5-second period. Why is that important? That means, I'll show you guys one more time. So as I'm running on the turret, and the last turret shot will kill me, I'll walk back into the turret shot. That way I receive the damage earlier than I normally would. And because I've received the damage normally than I normally would, I walk back into the turret shot. The turret damage dealt damage to me while my ult was still available. So this is a small trick you guys can use to really make use of your ultimate and the length of time that you have. So let's show what it would look like if I did not make use of that ability. So let's say I take 3 turret shots. Or I die. And yes, you have to scream when you die because, yes, I'm a Tryndamere main. That's just what happens. Alright, so let's go into revive. I think we have talked about pretty much all of Tryndamere's abilities. We just a small demonstration of everything that happens. Let's go ahead and move on to the next part of the beginner's guide to Tryndamere. Alright, so let's do a quick summary of what we've done so far. Why we should play Tryndamere. We've gone over that, the benefits of Tryndamere. How to use each one of Tryndamere's abilities effectively. Really important. And I showed you little tips and tricks for each ability, but in the future guides, in the intermediate guide and the advanced guide, I will show you even more tricks with your abilities and what you can do, and how to really abuse everything in Tryndamere's kit.
My right arm is a lot stronger than my left arm.
Hey, Timo Slayer, thank you for the gifted sub to My Balls Are Orange. I really appreciate it, man. So, the next part of the beginner's guide is, let's take a look at the item build and runes and summoner spells for patch 8.7. Now, if you are watching this video, whether you're watching on a Twitch VOD or you are watching on YouTube, this is patch 8.7. Today is April 9th, 2018. If the patch that you are playing on is not 8.7, please go to my Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/foggedftw. FOGGEDFTW2. Just so that everyone knows. Go to my channel. Go to my Twitch chat. So if you don't have a Twitch account, go ahead and create one. Type in my Twitch chat. I will always have the best build for Tryndamere under the !build command. So go in Twitch chat, type in !build. And then boom. The Nightbot command will instantly list out in order the items that you will go on Tryndamere for that current patch. Also, it will list the runes, And I believe the summoner spells will always be Ignite and Flash. If that changes in a future patch, if you're watching this from the future. Hi, future. Anyways, for right now, I'm taking Ignite Flash every single game. So maybe Riot does something and like removes Ignite from the game and something else becomes viable. Then maybe I'll take that. But let me go and show you the build, the runes, summer spells. Some good ass coffee. Okay. For the runes. For patch 8.7. Let me do a quick explanation of which runes to take when. In matchups where you are facing a fighter melee champion. Something like Aurelia. You know, the new Aurelia is pretty cool. This is what you take. The new Aurelia, Fiora, Jax, Renekton. You know, stuff that looks to fight you early, that's melee, that's not going to poke you down. And that you want to look to all in. The precision side of the runes will stay the same no matter what. The changes we are going to make is to the resolve tree. So that will be Conqueror, Triumph, Legend Alacrity, and Last Stand for the precision tree. For the resolve tree, it will be Revitalize and Chrysalis. Again, this is versus fighter champions that are melee, Renekton, Aurelia, Fiora, stuff like that. For poke matchups, you get that Teemo in your game. And you're like, I hate this Teemo. He's poking me so much. This is what you need to take. Second Wind and Revitalize will give you the most sustain in lane. And this is what you need to take versus range matchups that poke you, or even melee champions that poke you. Like Pantheon with his constant spear poke. Or maybe Gangplank, because he could just Q you over and over again. These are the runes to take. And if you're in a brain dead tank matchup that's super easy to beat, right now I believe the only champion I do this into is Maokai. You can take Demolish and Second Wind. Second Wind for the extra sustain, and Demolish because that Maokai can't do anything to you. Again, this is patch 8.7. Alright. Now, let's go to Jungle Tryndamere, aka Jungle Mare. For me, this is my playstyle. Again, I'm a top main, but if I were to jungle Tryndamere, this is what I would take. Transcendence, Gathering Storm for jungle. You do have the option, if you'd want to, it's your preference. You could take Celerity instead of Transcendence. So like this. This is what I would take for jungle Tryndamere. Conqueror, Triumph, Legend Alacrity, Last Stand, with secondary sorcery, Transcendence, Gathering Storm. Now, let's go into the build. Let me just open up Practice Tool, and let me show you the exact skill order for the build that we are taking on patch 8.7. Again, if you're watching this from the future, things may have changed. You can always go to my Twitch channel and find out what has changed on this patch. So, take this. Alright, guys. Alright. Let's talk about skill order on Tryndamere. And we'll also, and again, this patch 8.7, things may change in the future. But, we're up to level 18. Add gold. Let's talk about the build order first. For every game, you're going to be starting either Doran's Blade or Doran's Shield, depending on the matchup. Or Doran's Shield. I would take Doran's Blade into melee matchups. Doran's Shield into range matchups / poke matchups. A couple matchup exceptions are Jace, Pantheon, and Quinn. You'll be starting Cloth 4-pot. And that's basically it. But every other matchup will be Doran's Blade, Doran's Shield. Here is the build in order. So say I start Doran's Blade. We are going to be building Tiamat. That's going to be on our first back. We're going to go towards Tiamat as fast as possible. Then, Berserker Greaves. Then, we go into Phantom Dancer. Then, we go into Essence Reaver. Then, after Essence Reaver, we will build Rageblade. This is the biggest power spike in this build is the Rageblade. After Rageblade, we will finish off our Ravenous Hydra. Then our last item will be Infinity Edge. And then you'll take a red pot with the extra gold. Something I am testing, and let me show you the stats now. So I currently have 409 move speed. Something that I want to test out in games is if you sell your Berserker Greaves as a 6 item for Trinity Force. So I lose 28 move speed, which is important. But this could be an option if you feel like you're just not being kited at all. But for the most part, I will be sticking with my boots. Oh, it's actually 29 attack speed, or move speed, not 28. So this is the current build. Now, let's go over the skill order. And in game, I will be pressing hotkeys to level up my skills. Every person should level up their skills with the hotkey. But I'm going to be clicking on my skills just to show you the skill order. Start with Spin. Level 1, you want your Spin. It's your damaging ability, gives you mobility. It's perfect. Lets you get good trades. Then, Q, level 2. Now, your level 3, it depends. 90% of the time, you will put another point into Q for the extra AD, healing, and AD as you get lower HP. But if situationally, you could level up your W level 3 if it will net you a kill in lane. But Q will give you stronger trades. But if you need W for the kill, you can level W level 3. For 90% of the time, it'll be Q level 3, W level 4. Then we put another point in Q level 5. Ultimate at level 6. Q level 7. Another point in E, level 8. Q level 9. That's your maxed out Q. Then you level up your E second. So that's level 10. We do not max our ultimate. We only put 1 point into our ultimate until level 17 and 18. The reason for this is we get more more damage or more utility by leveling up our other 2 skills before leveling up ultimate. If we look here, leveling up ultimate only reduces the cooldown by, what's showing here is 7 seconds, but it's about 10 seconds if you don't have the CDR. AKA, it's pretty useless to level up your ultimate. Much better to just level up your other abilities. So E first, and then W. And then the last 2 points in R, at 17 and 18. So, that's the skill order. My summoner spells are Ignite and Flash. Ignite recently got a buff on patch 8.7. I'm doing 505 true damage to target enemy champions over 5 seconds, and the Flash, that way we could do the spin Flash combo. Anyways, so that is the build order, the runes, and the summoner spells for patch 8.7. This could change in the future. As always, go to my stream, twitch.tv/foggedftw2. To type ! build in chat, and you will always know what the current build is. Yeah. Hi, YouTube. Alright. Alright, guys. Now, we are going to go to the next part of the build. Let me do a quick summary of what we've done so far, in case you have missed any of it. We have gone over why you should want to play Tryndamere, the benefits of Tryndamere. We have gone over Tryndamere's abilities and tips and tricks with each ability and how you want to best, most effectively use the ability. We have gone over the item build, the runes, and the summoner spells for patch 8.7. Now, we're going to go to the basics of laning with Tryndamere. The most important thing to worry about, the thing that everyone needs to learn how to do first in laning is CSing with Tryndamere. So I am going to show you a drill that will increase your creep score. That will help you build up CS. And I'm going to use my lovely assistant, Stevo. He is my really good friend, and he is a noob Tryndamere. He has never played the champion before. We are going to be teaching him from the get-go how to CS with Tryndamere, and we're going to start with the laning phase. Alright, Stevo, you there? Okay, looks like he is stepping outside for a moment. So I will show you guys the CS drill by myself first. And then I will be showing it to Stevo and how to do it. So let's load up let's load up a training session since it's just me solo. Alright. So this is, if you are new to Tryndamere and you want to test out the champion, or you're an experienced Tryndamere, but your CS, it just sucks. This is a drill that you can use to improve on your skills using Tryndamere. Again, this guide will cover everything. We are currently in the beginner's guide to Tryndamere. This next step is the CS drill. I'm going to show you guys how to do it and what you're looking to do. So, I will do a shortened version of this drill, but I will do the full drill once I get Stevo back in here. Okay, I'm messaging Stevo to let me know when he is back. So, just take a Doran's Blade for this drill. And let's fast forward 30 seconds. Alright. So, the minions spawn right now at 105. Or let them come to lane. What you need to do for this drill. CS perfectly. Yes, I mean CS absolutely perfectly. Do not miss a single creep. Ever. That is the most important part of this drill.
I am your worst nightmare.
So, the basic parts of CS, just like right-clicking the creep, and then as the creep gets so low, you want to last hit it. You want to kill the minion as soon as, you know, it's about to die. You just right-click that minion. Also, you can use your spin as well. So, last hit the minions. So, it's just casual, just me lasting the wave. You know, as you get better at Tryndamere, you want to make sure you get 100% of the CS that you can get. You know, sometimes you will mess up, like even me as a challenger player. You know, I'll mess up. Either I crit a minion that's not supposed to be critted, and I mess up, but there you go. Now, you're going to let this wave, you know, bounce back to us. Get the minions as they come. We're going to CS perfectly. Now, when you guys do this drill, if you're new to Tryndamere and want to learn how to CS, you will do this drill for 10 minutes. And you're going to get perfect CS for 10 minutes. I was explaining, so I missed that. Rip. But anyways, you're going to get perfect CS for 10 minutes. So that is the essential part of that drill. But if you have a friend, you can do more with the CS drill. Have you guys ever had trouble CSing under turret? Because you're constantly being pushed in by that Teemo. Or, you know, anybody else. Maybe the Garen is pushing you in. Whatever the case may be. If you have a friend, you know, if you don't have a friend, join my Discord server. Go, you know, if you're watching this on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. Then go to my Twitch channel. Type in !Discord on my Twitch channel. Twitch.tv/Foggedftw2. You need to create a Twitch account in order to type. Join my Discord, and I'm sure you ask in the general chat, hey, can someone help me with the CS drill? And people will be there to help. If nobody's helping you, I will contact one of my mods to come and help you. Or maybe I'll come even myself.